to have a little walk around Croydon now, just to show people this is where I grew up. I remember when I was growing up in the 80s, and Croydon was quite a nice place, and you used to look on the news and you used to see what was going on in Belfast. And obviously being a kid I didn't watch the news that much, but when I did see it, if anything come up about Belfast, it looked absolutely horrifying. And now things have gone completely 180. Just over 3 years ago I bought a house and I moved to Belfast, although I still do spend a lot of time. I've got family in Croydon, I do work in London, so hence why I'm here now. But basically things are completely in reverse now. Belfast is so much better than Croydon. I know a lot of people will say Belfast has got its problems, they've got a lot of immigrants there, this, that and the other, which is 100% correct, but it's still years behind Croydon. I'm going to have a little walk around Croydon now. I'm just approaching the flyover, so we'll just have a look of what's going on. I hasten to guess we probably won't see any police. If we do, they'll probably just be having a chat amongst themselves, mooching around, trying to stay out of trouble. That's what things have come to. Rather than the immigrants trying to stay out of trouble, what happens is they just do whatever they like, and the police, in order for an easy life, they try to stay out of trouble. Again, another situation that's completely tipped on its head. I know the late great John Jones used to say, he used to quite often say to me and to other people online and things like that, that if he was to go back to when he was a young man and tell people what it's like now, they'd think he was insane and probably lock him up or something. And I think that's 100% if men have been marrying men and various other things that he used to say. Good bloke, John. This actually used to be the nice part of Croydon. This is where I used to come when I was about 18 to 21. I used to come up here drinking pubs and clubs. It used to be really, really decent place to hang out. So I've got many fond memories from around here. Getting ruined at the moment.
Salam alaikum.
Behind me here, this used to be the ABC cinema when I was a child. I used to come here 40 odd years ago, and I probably last came here about 20 odd years ago, probably a bit longer than that, yeah. They go on about not wanting people to drive, but they've shut down lots of local amenities. When I was a child, within like a short walking distance, we had lots of different shops, including sports shops and clothes shops, not just these horrible little bazaars that they have now. We had cinemas, swimming pools, proper swimming pools with diving boards and things like that. It was a lot better time, especially in Croydon. And now since I was a child, they've gone through the process of making people drive to then taxing people to drive. And even when it comes to walking, if you want to get people out of their cars, you should get people walking around, not riding these silly little scooters and hire bikes and things like that. But what's happened is that the whole pavements have been taken over. So when they're supposed to be claiming that they're trying to get people out of their cars, when actually you're getting forced off the pavements. You walk around, I'm in Croydon at the moment, I'm getting towards the part where I was brought up, but it's the same in central London as well. You've got like the pavements are just getting taken over, and it's harder to walk places than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Used to be the rule in Croydon, it probably still is, but they probably just ignore it, that you were supposed to leave 2 metres of pavement. The shops were supposed to get permission to put stuff outside of their shops. They're supposed to pay a fee to the council for it, and then those meant to leave 2 metres either to the curb or if there's any street furniture. Hello mate, you alright? How's things, you alright? literally about 15 feet away from each other, you've got a guy repairing his bike inside a food shop with all tools and parts on the thing where the food would be, and then just before that we had the guy that was unloading food from the pavement onto a shelf ready to be sold to the public. It's perfectly normal, isn't it, where they come from? But do we really want it here? This is what happens when you get a few immigrants moving into an area. They use the white shops. They don't tend to use pubs, but they use the white shops and white services and things like that. And as their community grows in numbers, then they start buying up cafes and shops. And then as soon as a cafe or a shop opens that's run by someone from their community, they stop going in the white one, and it has to close down. And it's not even the 50% mark. People think it's once they become a majority, but it's not. It's once they get to about 20 or 30%. Nice warm day in Croydon. That was a meat delivery truck. I'm not sure where they're actually delivering to, but they're it looks like it's actually a refrigerated truck, but I don't think the refrigeration was on. So, like I said, it's a warm day. They got meat on the floor where they got pallet trucks and people walking around, and then they're offloading it into what's most probably a stolen supermarket trolley.